Wait for the history. The history will say that we are.
Around the world, the people never get to know the truth. One day I see somebody disappear, and they take him in question or whatever, heaven knows where. Please, Lord, bring it to this nation.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to this week's episode of Christian Warriors. Tonight's question: what would you do for money? Who would you betray for money? Which of your values, beliefs, your virtues would you abandon for money? And finally, what is the one thing that you would never abandon for money? In this week's episode of the Christian Warriors, simply titled Greed, Dr. Julio Antonio DeMarmo is going to share several stories of how greed destroyed relationships, divided families, and even led to death. Tonight, you get to hear how Dr. Julio Antonio DeMarmo personally dealt with temptation and chose another path: principles over money. And now, Dr. Julio Antonio DeMarmo, my friend and yours, the Cuban Lightning.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Actually, I want to apologize for my lack the composure in the last show. Unfortunately, telling about stories brings so much sadness to your heart. It's hard to control sometimes. A couple of tears involuntarily show into your eyes and run to your cheeks. I will be talking tonight about greed and the greed in people. Unfortunately, greed is like a cancer. They consume people. Actually, some people are greedy for power, some others are greedy for money. I say money or love, but still you can have both. The soon you not let greed consume your soul. In my experience, I have a personal experience, many. I have a lady by my side that she, from the beginning, pretend to be not interested in money, don't care about money, and earn my trust, my love, and I even have a little girl with her. And I intend to spend the rest of my life with her. She's a great woman. She's not a bad woman at all. People, because we not going along or meet our expectations, don't mean they are bad people. They just were not suitable to share a life anymore. This character, I name it in the book, Laurent. Laurent and the greed of Laurent show after spend several years by my side, and to the point that she actually go behind my back and do things that I never expect even my worst enemy would do, just for money. We have an individual working in an intelligence community, disguised as a patriot and freedom fighter, and working in the clandestine field with the Central Intelligence. We call it in my book Sanchez. And actually, we will, in the end to this program, show the chapter and the page where this particular thing take place in the book. Sanchez is nothing more than a double agent at the service to the master, the dollar. And those, like I said to my friends in the intelligence community before, what they offer me money, if you pay me, anybody can come with more money and overpay what you offer me. Then how you can trust me? Unfortunately, those people, they sold the soul to the devil. And for a few millions, for even a little more than a few million, they abandon their principles and ethics and their patriotism, and they don't remember what they go through in Cuba, and they come to be a mercenaries. It's nothing I hate in my life, because I don't like to hold hate ever in my heart. But it's nothing more I despise to a mercenary. A person only act behind the dollar. Well, this woman, unfortunately, decided to roll to that path. And in that path, abandoning the good principles, the love, and betray my trust, and embrace that greed that some people cannot decline, the mighty dollar. And with sadness, I can tell tonight that actually take her to a place where almost she lost her life. I protect her, she don't even know, and I intervened in her behalf because I don't want she get hurt, because she is the mother to my child, and I know when any human being ever get hurt, especially somebody related with me, and she actually don't even know that money that she loves so much only almost take it to lost her life. Greed is not good, and greed serves only one master, and that master is the evil, and the money never cleanse your heart. Continue with the greed to the human being and why people behave the way they behave. I ask myself why. That does not have logical explanation. You go with the individual, and those individuals act a second moment, are imposed, and don't restrain. And remember, the money is just a piece of paper, and eventually it will evaporate. If it's not principle or love behind, I'd rather to be poor and don't have anything in my life. We will mention about Romero. Romero is one of my characters in the Zipper book, the Cuban Lightning, the Zipper book, and we will mention the chapter and the page into the show. Romero is not one of our team. Romero is the individual, the intelligence community bring to me from Argentina to we use it as a printer for the money, what is supposed to be kind of fake currency, but it's not. It's actually a clone money because it's being, like I said before, I repeat it again, those not watching that show, getting an idea, we got the paper, we got the magnetic ink, we got the plates, and we got all the ingredients from the Treasury Department to do this operation. The money Romero print, we have a problem with the $100 bill, but as we develop the project, I consult with O'Brien, and O'Brien tell me forget about the $100 bills, go for the 50s and the 20s, and we get somebody else to do the hundreds. And we did exactly as I told. We moved to the 50s and the 20s, and we start to print mass quantities and shipping it out and leave the 100 for then. As you remember, in another show, Father Solomon, or the monk supposed to be take over for Romero to do the job for the $100 bill, coming to the country, Jacob bring it to us, and he take over and complete the $100 bill. As we doing all this production, we finish the 50s and the 20s, and we only concentrate in the $100 bills. The $100 bills, Romero gets so greedy and completely fascinated to the job that we've been doing with the $100 bill, because he's hanging around still in the shop. He wants to take whatever he can, because it's a perfect, beautiful artwork. And the soon we finish with the $100 bill, and we wrapping all the $100 bills in in bundles of $10,000 each, filling up boxes and boxes and shipping those $100 bills out to the warehouse. Actually, Romero start to, with friends that we don't even know, start to smuggling money out of the warehouse and behind our back. To the point that he got complicity with another people. They've been doing that for a while already, pulling money out of the warehouse. As we've been printing in night, and we closing the warehouse for second hours, so the people can get a rest. They filled up a full plane in Long Beach Airport with the $100 bill boxes, and they take it out of the country. And of course, Romero, in his greed, forgot who is he dealing with, and the people who he's dealing with in our behalf, and he feel like he will be free flying back to his country in Argentina, where he coming from. I have a phone call, and I've been told that we have breach in the security, and I out of the country at that moment, doing another stuff. I just immediately come back to the country to take care of the situation, and I find out all the details of how the whole thing take place. Because we got several people watching the warehouse, and they videotape everything, but they got orders to not do anything because we don't want to call the attention to the local authorities. Fascinated, this sound, like not even in the movie. We don't do nothing. We let them take the money, and they ask me, what do you want me to do with? And I say, it's not up to me. Whatever you guys want to do with him, he actually made his own bed. You guys either help you to go to sleep, or you put it to sleep. It's up to you. And the far I know, Romero ended dead in his sleep after he broke his tooth in night. They find him dead in his bed the next day. That is the story about greed and about Romero.
Sweet dreams will come real for you when you work hard with your mind and soul, and give all your heart and dedication to what you believe.
We will continue to talk about greed and how people lost love country, and lost everything they care in their life just for greed. Greed is the worst enemy in any human being. And I will give you one example in here. We have a general in the glorious armies to Fidel Castro invading Africa, invading Ethiopia, conquers Venezuela, turning around the beautiful country Venezuela used to be into the worst misery and calamity country we ever see in today's day. That is the Cuban government responsible. And one of the men in charge, awaiting the orders to the Castro and the elite, to the socialists and communists in Cuba, is a General Ochoa. Probably some of you guys don't know who the Ochoa is. Ochoa is not a great general. It's what I call a po devil, a usable fool. Why? Because the Cuban government used him for all these ventures around the world, conquest, like a Hitler, all the lands, and bringing their idea, socialism and communist, and in the end, ended in front of the fighter squad, killing and being killed himself by the own people sent to do those glorious missions around the world. I have the honor, and I have the pleasure, and I have the most evidence, proof, because I penetrate Ochoa and his team in Panama. Actually, I say they are corrupted for money and greed. We offer them tremendous amount of money. We being invited by a double agent, introduce me as a businessman and my team. I bring one of the greatest associates I got in my team, Amelia, and they go all gaga over this woman and distract them so well that we managed to get all the information we need for them and how they operated, and transported all the drugs and cocaine from Colombia to Panama, and using the Cuban planes to distribute it, and the ships using the diplomatic immunity to distribute the drugs all over the world. This looks like a movie or tale for somebody's imagination. No, this is a fact, and you will find it in the Cuban Lightning, the Zipper. And all the books have been right, talking in details, all the operations were being conducted successfully. I say 99.75%. The greed in Ochoa, corrupt Ochoa to the point to get involved with Noriega in Panama and Escobar, where they formed a triangle. And in that triangle, successful conduct business all over the world. Bring billions of dollars to the Cuban government to operate clandestine operations all over the world and spread terrorists and spread socialist revolutions all over the world. What they never calculate is they think they are smart, and they think it's like the individual think that everything he does is better than anybody else. They never calculate the power to the Holy Mighty and the power to the good and Jesus Christ. And at a shot, a single bullet, we infiltrate them, we cut them with the pants down, we take pictures, we got recorders, conversation, and we actually expose them to the intelligence community and to the rest of the world. Well, they feel trapped, and they see they're going to be arrested, and Ochoa and flew immediately to Cuba, and Castro promised him, don't worry about it, we will protect you. They create immediately a phony trial, and they put everyone were to show a team in a public trial in Cuba, and they accuse it to be doing that by themselves, no association at all with the government, and they execute everyone in the fighter squad. Noriega, I don't have to even tell you what happened with Noriega. We extracted from Panama and bring it and spend many years in jail in the Florida prison. And Escobar, I don't have to mention to you what happened to Escobar. Pablo ended being killed in the roof to one of the houses, running from the law in Colombia. That is all what you can get when you run from with greed in your heart, now with love and goodness. Jesus Christ only protect those are good and they are in his side, not in the evil side. I will start tonight, tell you that many people tell me in many conferences I do around the world, universities, college. I got the honor to have one of my books coming to be a textbook. They use it in all the college and universities around the world for political scientists. And they ask me all the time, who are you? Why we believe in what you say? What we take for good what you say? And I tell people all the time, don't believe nothing to what anyone say, including me. Check me out. And I always tell people, you follow your heart. If you see, and you can feel my pain, and you can find that whatever doubt you have is just clarified by the data you find about myself and my background, then I think you will be a smart individual, woman or man, to say, let's give you the benefit of the doubt to this man. I will tell you one thing happened with me in my process, in my life, and my operations I conduct around the world. Long time ago, when I arrived from Guantanamo Bay to Florida, and my handler in the intelligence take me to his superior. And we sit down in an office, and he asked me, what do you want? Whatever you want, we want to give it to you because we want to compensate you. You actually have done an invaluable work for us that we don't have no way to pay for. And I say, I don't want anything. You don't want a car, you don't want a house, I don't want nothing. Just give me a place where I sleep, and if it is possible, reestablish myself legally in this country. That way I can function from here and be at your service in the future. But I don't want nothing else. You mean nothing else? The gentleman looked in my eyes. I never forgot that deep blue eyes. And he said, are you crazy? You got, I don't know how much money, but you got tons of money in the bank because you actually one of the most valuable agents we have in Cuba. And through your uncle, we know now that you are the one that been sending all that, not him. In other words, he's been sending in his name to protect you. But now we know, and you hear, we have to take you to the bank and give you that you earn already. And I say, I'm sorry, sir. I'm 23 years old, taking consideration the people watching this tonight. 23 years old, leaving my wife, my kid, 3 years old in Cuba, don't have nothing with me, not even a toothbrush to brush my teeth. And with the clothing I get into Guantanamo by the military, Navy servicemen and officers, they provide us with little clothes and stuff. And I look in that man in the eyes and I say, I'm not a mercenary. The man look at me and open his arm and say, mercenary? You're not. You defending your country. You help us to bring freedom back to Cuba. I say, yes, but I'm not a citizen to this country. And I never work for you. I work with you. What is a big difference? And I said, but you need money to reestablish yourself. You give me information, and I will provide you information in the future. Help me to start out. Give me the monies for the operation you want me to take in my charge, and I will do the best work I can do for you. But under one condition, I work with you, not for you. And he reclined in his chair, and he said to me, well, this has never been done before. This is nothing I've ever heard the intelligence community accept, because you have to find the way to commit with us in your heart. That way we can get some document signed, a non-disclosure, blah, blah, blah. And I say, no, I'm not going to sign anything. I should not exist in here. Actually, I should be a ghost, because that will protect me and my family. And he looked at me, shakes his head, and he said, you know what? That has never been done before. But I assure you that you in a section, because nobody ever declined, you don't even ask me how much money is in the bank, and you don't care. And I say, I don't care. You're right. That means don't worry about it. Whatever you need to be done, we will do it. Welcome to the United States of America. And he get out of his chair, walk towards me, give me his hand, and embrace me. I say, I never see a man like you before. And I'm going to be proud to tell my friends that I meet somebody like you.
Something in life, either money or love. No matter what it is, but always they will lie if it's theirs. Something in you that they want.
Tonight, you heard the story of Lauren and Sanchez and how greed allowed the corruption of Dr. Marmol's greatest ally. You also heard how Romero traded his life for the idea of easy money. From there, we went to the Panamanian drug trade, Noriega, the Cuban General Ochoa, and Escobar, ending again in death and self-destruction. And finally, how Dr. Marmol walked away from millions. Dr. Marmol has spent over 50 years of his life in service without taking a dime from the government. But now we need your help. Please go to the website on the screen and purchase a copy of the book, The Cuban Lightning, The Zipper. The funds go directly to helping fund our project and mission of spreading truth, faith, forgiveness, and freedom to the world. Also, for those of you who cannot afford the book, send us an email again to the address on the screen, and we will send you a PDF copy for free. And you can support our mission simply by spreading the word of Dr. Julio Antonio de Marmol, the Cuban Lightning. Thank you, good night, and God bless. May Jesus be with you.